On behalf of the 633rd Mission Support Group Commander Colonel David Stanfield, welcome to Langley Air Force Base and the 633rd Communications Squadron Change of Command Ceremony. I am Airman First Class Braxton Harris, your narrator for today's ceremony. Today, the men and women of the 633rd Communications Squadron bid a fond farewell to our outgoing commander, Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Howard, and offer a warm welcome to our incoming commander, Major Joshua Evans. The presiding official for today's ceremony is Colonel David Stanfield. The change of command ceremony we will witness today is a time-honored tradition dating back to the 18th century during the reign of Frederick the Great of Prussia. At this time, organizational flags were developed with color arrangements and symbols unique to each particular unit. To this and its commander, the soldiers of the unit would dedicate their loyalty and trust. When a change of command was to take place, the flag was passed to the individual assuming command. The gesture was accomplished in front of the unit so all could see and witness their new leader assuming his dutiful position. The leader who possessed the flag also held the soldier's allegiance. This symbolic tradition has survived throughout military history. Today, with 8 simple words and the passing of the guidon, command of the 633rd Communications Squadron will transfer from Lieutenant Colonel Howard to Major Evans. The instant Major Evans takes the guidon from Colonel Stanfield, he assumes command of the 633rd Communications Squadron and all the responsibilities the position entails. We'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of our distinguished guests. Commander of the 633rd Air Base Wing, Colonel Caroline Miller. The 633rd Air Base Wing Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Jeffrey Rivera. The families of Lieutenant Colonel Chris Howard, his wife Christy Howard, his children Kaylin, Colton, and Cody Howard. Major Joshua Evans' family, his wife Tiffany Evans, and his son Cole. And Colonel Stanfield's wife, Tina Stanfield. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors. Singing of the national anthem by Staff Sergeant Brianna Stolba and the Invocation by Chaplain Bailey.
Squadron, attention, hut!
Sir, present the command. Honor Guard, present the colors.
Port, up. Forward, hutch. Good. Halt. Preset up.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous height o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran
Coast. Coaster. Hot. Parade rest.
As we enter into this time of prayer, join me according to your personal beliefs. Heavenly Father, thank you for this special day and for all of those gathered to witness this ceremony. First, we give you thanks for Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Howard and for his dedication to the Air Force and his service to the 633rd Communication Squadron. Thank you for how you have worked through him the last few years. I ask your blessing and care upon him and his family as they transition into a new stage of life. God, I pray that you will go before him to prepare the way for his next assignment. Bless him with your presence and help him to continue to be faithful to you as he continues to serve our nation and Air Force. And as the guidon passes between commanders, strengthen them both in the task to which you have called them. We give thanks now for our new commander, Major Joshua Evans. You have prepared him for this moment to take command and to lead the 633rd Communication Squadron. I ask that you bless him and his family as they can assume command. Give Major Evans the wisdom to know the right path and the courage to follow that path, no matter how hard it may be. Help him to be the leader that this squadron and this base needs for him to be. May his time as commander be rewarding and successful for him and everyone that he leads. Finally, forgive us and our country as we've been so divided. Heal the pain of our past, unite us so that we can face the obstacles of today, and help our military to model grace and diversity so that we can be the example our country needs to lead this nation into the future. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Staff Sergeant Silva and Chaplain Bailey. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce the commander of the 633rd Mission Support Group, Colonel David Stanfield.
I guess so. Somebody grabbed my comments. Well, that's a first. Okay. It's okay. So here's the deal. This is really a day of mixed emotions. Whenever you lose a commander and you gain another commander, it's joyous, it's sad, there's so many memories that go through. So I just want to say a few things. First to the families, to the Howard family. You guys have been through a lot with this. A command tour is not easy at all. The fact that you were able to support each other helped Chris get through it. There's been times where he's been called away, he's had to work late with the communication squadron trying to make sure the comm infrastructure is up and going. You've been there. You've even been through the distractions where maybe he was physically present, but he's mentally checked out for a little bit, which kind of goes with being a commander of a 200-person unit, $5 million budget, servicing a 4-star and 5 wing commanders and, you know, a bunch of tenant units. So we understand that, and thank you very much. So here's the thing, Bam Bam. So I asked him who calls him Chris, and well, not too many people, I guess. Your mom, maybe? Yeah, okay. So, Bam Bam. So I got a little story about Bam Bam later. But here's the thing. In my career, I really can't remember someone who was more impassioned for taking care of the troops. You've done a phenomenal job. And in a minute, you're going to hear a citation, right? A decoration citation. It's going to list a summary of just a few of the events, of the accomplishments you've had. But let me tell you something, the person behind those accomplishments is really something to talk about. You know, first of all, I know you've got a lot of attention to detail, and I know that because I made some offhanded remark the other day about, since I took command, how many emails I've had. So Bam Bam looked at me and he wrote it down. If I had my notes, I'd tell you, but I believe it was something like this. You have sent 18,996 emails in your 2 years. You have deleted 54,631 emails. You have tracked 4,740 tasks or events on your calendar, and the list goes on. And so I've never met anybody who counted their deleted email items. So, you're also quite the adventurer. You're pretty tenacious. I heard that your son lost the drone, the tree. So you tried to climb the tree. You tried to get it down, and good on you. It's tenacious. You got a lot of scratches and poison ivy too, right? Or was it poison oak? Oh, poison oak. Okay. So eventually the wind blew it down anyway, but we got some funny videos out of it, right? And I'm glad the poison oak didn't leave permanent scars. So good job. So you're also quite the athlete. I mentioned Bam Bam before. So when you get call signs and nicknames, you kind of wonder where it comes from. So honest to goodness, this story is pretty fascinating. Have you told many people the story? No? Yeah, okay, that's humility. So when he was 16, he was quite the baseball player. So he attended an open tryout for the major leagues, and he made the initial cut. But he's a working man, and so he couldn't stay around for the second to make sure he got in. So, there's regrets, right? But priority family, making money. So he tells me he can still go yard on a baseball. And if you've seen those guns of his, you'd see that. So quite the athlete, Bam Bam. But you also love your family. I asked him, what are you proudest of? And without a doubt, the first thing he said was, my family is number one in my life, period. So I know that he has tried to balance work and family as best you can. Honestly, I commend you. You coached every single team your sons have been on. Basketball, football, baseball. It ends up 13 teams you've coached, including an undefeated basketball team with your son, man. Very good. All right. So here's the thing. You are an amazing leader. You're inspirational. And as we get ready to hand over the guide on, I just want the men and women of the 633rd Comm Squadron to think about what's happening here. You are losing a person whose love for his troops is rivaled only by love for his family. And you've made an impact, you've made a difference, and you are handing a good squadron over. So let's go ahead and think about that for a second when we do the guide on transfer. But with every chapter that ends, a new one begins. And so now we have Josh Evans. Let me tell you something. I've met Josh a couple of times. I've only been here a few weeks, and we've crossed paths a few times. But he makes an impression. And ladies and gentlemen, I think you're going to see something out of this young man. He's had a lot of different jobs. He's prior enlisted in public health. He got an opportunity to go to the Air Force Academy, and that is a huge accomplishment, graduating from the Air Force Academy. He's an expert in communications career field, and he's had a few career broadening jobs that are pretty rare, to say the least. He's been, most obvious that stands out, he's been the aide-de-camp to 2 different 4-star generals. So that alone gives you the opportunity to see some great leaders in action and see how they make strategic decisions. And that's what you're going to get here. You're going to get a person that has proven himself time and time again. I read through the commander's comments about him, and there's things that pop out. Now, these are different commanders, right, over his career. Inspirational leader. He fixed systems in the CENTCOM AOR that most people didn't even know existed. He always takes advantage of every opportunity, and he makes it look easy when he fixes problems. And then General Carlisle. I admire General Carlisle very much. And when he was the commander of Pacific Air Forces, he very clearly said on your official report that your character is above repute, and you were the best aide he had of 36 aides. So we can look at this several ways. One, he's an outstanding officer, but he's going to be able to lead the Comm Squadron to the next level. So I really, really am looking forward to working with you and the team, Tiffany, Cole. You're going to find that the 633rd is a family, and we're going to make you feel welcome. And I know that you're going to plug right in immediately. And by the way, they're marathon runners, so don't challenge them to a race. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and move on with the ceremony as we pay proper respect to who's coming and who's going. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel Stanfield. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of Meritorious Service Medal to Lieutenant Colonel Howard.
Squadron, attention, hut.
Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Meritorious Service Medal, 3rd Oak Leaf Cluster, to Lieutenant Colonel Christopher M. Howard, Meritorious Service 9 July 2014 to 18 July 2016. Lieutenant Colonel Christopher M. Howard distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as commander of the 633rd Communications Squadron, 633rd Air Base Wing, Joint Base Langley, Eustis, Virginia. During this period, Colonel Howard skillfully managed a $37 million base infrastructure upgrade. Furthermore, his tenacious leadership and unwavering dedication was essential in preparing Headquarters Air Combat Command 5 wings and over 30 tenant units for the rigorous Defense Information Systems Agency Command Cyber Readiness Inspection. Colonel Howard expertly developed a strategy that secured Air Combat Systems Command's largest network with over 20,000 systems valued at over $880 million and eliminated 60 10-year-old security violations, impacting 3,915 users. This Herculean effort resulted in the installation receiving a passing score for both the classified and unclassified networks. Finally, his hands-on leadership directly resulted in the unit's selection as the 9th Air Force's Best Communication Squadron of 2014 and 2015, and the Continental United States Outstanding Defense Information System Network Facility of the Year for 2014 and 2015. The singularly distinctive accomplishments for Colonel Howard reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The commander of the 633rd Communications Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Howard.
Parade breath.
All right, I cannot believe how fast this has gone. It just seemed like yesterday, literally, when I got here. So I just can't believe now 4 years of doing back-to-back commands here. It's bittersweet, as the boss mentioned, going from an awesome job like this to go sitting in the Pentagon. There's just no comparison, but I'm working on my coffee skills, so. All right, Colonel Stanfield, I know that you told me I need to keep it short and sweet, so make sure that I'm listening to you here. I brought a couple notes that I'm going to follow up with here. I've tried hard not to fail you here in the last few weeks. I've given you plenty of opportunities already, batting 0 for 2 with them doing on lead and everything. We don't have the computer set for the boss, and it's like, sir, I'm a train wreck and you'll be rid of me soon. So, but I'll tell you, sir, the short time I've gotten the privilege of working for you, I tell you, I would be honored to work for you again, because the impact I've seen already from the very first time I met you and how you interact with our folks. And I know that this group is in tremendous hands. Again, I don't usually procrastinate, but this has been the one day that I've not been looking forward to for the last couple of years now. That really has words on it, though, by the way. I could read them if you guys like. It's Leadership Philosophy. It's 84 pages. Ink takers. No. All right. So first of all, on Friday we did a barbecue for me from the squadron, and again, I tried to get all my thank yous, because when I started typing this out, it got to be close to several pages of bullets, and when I looked at it, all it was thank yous, because I don't want to underestimate the power of thank you. Especially for this kind of career field. You know, it's a lot of things as those that are in Comm, they certainly understand that you expect it to work. You pick up your phone, you expect dial tone. You click on the little blue E on your desktop to get to Facebook, you expect it to work. Again, I cannot be more honored to have been part of this team. And there's absolutely no way to thank everybody, but again, this has been a challenge assignment from CCRIs and the Department of Defense audits, capstone deployments, just so many different challenges that we've been faced with, and it's been an honor to be part of this. But first and foremost, though, I do want to thank God for this, because without none of this would have been possible. My parents, Colonel Stanfield, again, thanks, boss, for officiating the kind fibs you were telling about me. Colonel Miller, Chief Hurst here, I would thank him as well, because he gave me a lot of pep talks that sometimes I really needed, especially just before the CCRI, standing out in the parking lot at the club, and very grateful for that. To Colonel Sutton, Colonel Folks, the whole A6 team, it's been an honor. You're certainly in good hands with Josh. He's going to do tremendous work here for you. And again, it's been an honor working for you, working your priorities. So again, thanks again to the group commanders,
fellow squadron commanders that have showed up today. Thank you for your support and your friendship that we've developed over the last couple of years. Appreciate you coming out here. Friends, family, chiefs, first sergeants, supervisors, and men and women, JBLE, thank you for being here. Again, I want to welcome Josh and Tiff and Cole. You guys are inheriting a great squadron, and with a tremendous mission, and the people are even more phenomenal. You're going to get to see that really soon, and I am very envious that you're getting to do this. I'd go back and do it all over again if I could. I don't know if these guys could take it though. Sergeant McKinney, thanks for volunteering to take this lead on this event. Just absolutely crushed it. Chief Parker, I know you're around here. There he is. There he is. Ultimate warrior. Sergeant Moe, Sergeant Hayes. Oftentimes I'd come to work every day wondering how do we get paid to do this to have this kind of job, because working with the team of us, just cutting up and everything, it's just unlike anything anybody else is going to experience in their career, and I won't forget that. Major Alis, you in the formation, you guys are absolutely look phenomenal there. I would like to hurry up, but I'm going to continue rambling on because this is my last one. So, all right. The main points I want to hit up, not just again, thanks to the SEO, SEX, because we got 20 work centers with 1 million different AFSCs and all kinds of diverse jobs. That again, there's no way to hit everybody up, but I'm grateful for everything that you guys have done over the last 2 years. So I literally have hundreds of stories that I probably have told and experiences, so many of those with you, but I want to again thank you for your dedication, commitment, and patience. Comm's not a glamorous or high-profile job, but I don't think you ever have to be out there to argue the importance. It's often like oxygen. Nobody's going to complain about it until they don't have it. So again, you guys are what make that happen. I told you there's a lot of thank yous. I'm trying to skip all the thank yous because that's all I want to do is thank everybody because they did all the work. You guys are the true epitome of silent professionals. Way out, you're not looking for the recognition for anything, because what you do is what enables decisions to be made up and down this chain of command, and nothing is going to get done without Comm enabling that mission and those decisions. It has been an absolute honor and privilege. I'm gonna go a little deep here and quote an inspirational speaker that some of you guys might have heard of, Uncle Ben from Spider-Man 2002. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility. On 18th of July again, that was my very last all call, and or my first all call back in 2014, and I vowed to everybody that you'll have my support. I will take care of you. I'll do whatever I can to ensure your success, and take whatever comes along with that. And I hope I lived up to that vow I made to you guys. And the other part that I had stated that I'm going to leave here with no regrets. The only regret I'd have is not getting to stay here longer with you guys, because it's just been an absolute honor to see your successes, to see when we have the challenges, to see those people that have had, whether it's deaths in the family, to be there to hurt with you. Again, I haven't forgotten that the death that we had of one of Red Switch employees. We've had so many things, people losing children, and I don't forget that stuff. I might forget CCRI. I'm trying hard. But just looking at you guys, I can look at every single one of you and just think of how many times have I told stories to each one of you guys and heard that rare chance when I actually shut my mouth for a minute and let you guys talk. But I'm honored to have been part of this team again. I'm trying to hold it together because I know this is the last time I'm going to get to do this. So, again, I know that it's unlikely you're going to remember everything that I've said, or all that, or maybe everything that I did. But I hope that you're going to remember how I made you feel. That's what makes the difference in the world out there. Is you can take the butt chewings and everything else, but if you're treated with dignity and respect, like our whole chain of command does this here. They don't come down and crush you, because believe me, I know Colonel Miller could have throat punched me several times. Colonel Head was ready to put me in a headlock quite a bit, but again, it was always handled with dignity and respect, and I can't tell you how grateful I've been for that, to have those experiences with them. As mentioned before, those 100 stories, one of the most inspirational that I'd ever heard was from, you guys might have heard of General A.J. Stewart, who was the former AFPC commander. in December 2012, I went through the APC Squad Commander's course, and he had said some things that really resonated with me. And he said, the cherished life is one day and someday never come. Fast forward a little bit, and that's something that once I got back to my USAFE, I sent a note to General Stewart, like, sir, before I go quoting you, I want to make sure that I got your words right. And he sent me a note back, I printed it out, kept it in my meat book. Again, and true to what he had said, though, that he ended up passing away in March of 2014 at Randolph. Again, that's one thing that I look at, cherish life, because one day and someday never comes. So if you gotta think about their families and those close to you, that's what's important. Air Force is temporary, your family's not. Don't ever forget that. Tough part for me, though, is the reason I'm here. It isn't because I'm a smart guy, because I'm pretty sure everybody in the room knows that that's not really a true statement. What motivates me are those people sitting right there in those first 4 chairs. My oldest son, him, his wife, and my granddaughter, they left yesterday for DC, so that's why they aren't here this morning. He started his job early this morning, and he's already given me sit reps on what the housing looks like, and he said it's going to be challenging, so that's what I'm about to find out here in a couple hours when I roll up there. Kaylin, my daughter, the most resilient person I've ever met, and I'm so proud that she's going off to school in Austin, University of Texas. The numerous sacrifices that a teenager makes throughout a military family, leaving friends, family, changing schools, thank you. I know it's been hard. I want you to know that I always have and always will be proud to call you my daughter. Colton and Cody, my 2 little guys, they just go with the flow, and they know Dad says that I seem busy a lot, but I want you guys to know you're really important to me. A lot of times, hey, Dad, can we do this? Or I'll offer, hey, you want to go throw the ball? Well, Dad, you're not going to be home. You're always at work. And those kind of things, as I said before, cherish life, because those days it goes by quick. Hopefully this new job, when I'm not stuck in traffic, I'm hoping that I'll get to be up there and we'll get to spend a lot more time together. Also looking forward to when turning the Howard boys loose and some intramural programs up there and wreaking havoc on all the other children in DC area as they run up the scoreboard. They got a lot of fans on YouTube and Facebook with the touchdowns and 3-pointers and God knows what other sports and home runs. I couldn't be more proud of my kids. To my wife, Christy, over the last 20-something years, I'd have to check my rings, 20-something. I've been married longer than I haven't. That's the only way I can remember that. She puts up with more than any woman should ever have to put up with. She is the secret to any success that I could ever be associated with. My mother-in-law was just here visiting recently, and I told her I think that Christy and I are in this, that I'm in this for the long run. And she kind of looked at me and said, well, you better be. So, again, I could not be more happy to have the perfect woman. She's spared the squadron a lot of grief, because I usually bounce stories off her, and she usually tells me, don't do that. Even out there, she said, don't try to tell jokes because you're not very funny. I'm told I got close to 300 people that think things are funny, but I think in about 2 more minutes when this is over with, that those jokes really won't be funny, and Josh will be the funny guy now. So you get better looking and get funnier is when you get to wear the command badge. So this is our 15th time to pack up our household goods, and each time we've moved, you've made our house a home. I'm thankful to call you my best friend. You held it together 900 plus days of all the TDYs, and there's no way I'd be here without you. There's no one else in the world, no one I'd ever want here other than you. I couldn't be any more blessed to have such a supportive team at home, and thank you. I love each of you unconditionally. All right, so as I finish this last piece up here, there's something I came across on Facebook. I decompress at the end of the night, whatever system might be down or who's not happy because they can't access Facebook or whatever the issue might be. I lay in bed at night and I just read Facebook feeds, because it doesn't matter what it is. I just hit like. If I see a like button, I just click the button, just because that's why I just flush my brain out every day. I came across this thing that says Mother Teresa, a quote she had done, but it really wasn't Mother Teresa, because I had to do a little bit of research, because everything on the internet is true, right? It's called The Paradoxical Commandments by Dr. Kent Keith, they did in 1968. People are illogical, unreasonable, and self-centered. Love them anyway. If you do good, people accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Do good anyway. If you're successful, you'll win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. The good you do today will be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Honesty and frankness make you vulnerable. Be honest and frank anyway. The biggest men and women with the biggest ideas can be shot down by the smallest men and women with the smallest minds. Think big anyway. What you spend years building may be destroyed overnight. Build anyway. People really need help, but may attack you if you do help them. Help them anyway. When I read that I really thought of the mission, you guys that wear the Comm badge. I thought of you guys. Help them anyway. Everybody needs our help. It doesn't matter what people are going to do or say. Go out there and help them anyway, because it's just the right thing to do. In honor of one of the finest chiefs I've ever met, we put something on his going away in his retirement. 2 Timothy 4:7. I fought the good fight, I finished the race, and I've kept the faith. Thank you guys again for everything you've done. All the successes is everything that you guys have done. I've just kind of been honored to be part of that. Everything's got wrong is usually because I screwed it up. But you guys are the ones that made it happen. I cannot tell you how grateful I am to have been a part of it. Thank you for what you do. God bless you. And if there's anything ever I can do for any of you again, don't ever hesitate to look me up. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Howard. The squadron would also like to thank Christy Howard for her dedication, loyalty, and support to the 633rd Communications Squadron and our families. The men and the women of the 633rd Communications Squadron will now present Lieutenant Colonel Howard with his final salute.
Squadron, attention, hut, present, Hans. Order, Hans.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the change of command. Attention to orders. Under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51-604 and Special Order Number GA-16-48, Lieutenant Colonel Christopher M. Howard relinquishes command of the 633rd Communications Squadron, and Major Joshua M. Evans assumes command, effective 18 July 2016.
Sir,
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Parade, rest.
We proudly present to you the commander of the 633rd Communications Squadron, Major Joshua Evans.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Before I say too much, first I'd like to acknowledge that ceremonies such as these are not easy to plan or execute. So I'd like to thank Sergeant McKinney, Sergeant Butler, and their team for doing a fantastic job today. Today is definitely an exciting, but also a very humbling day for both Tiffany and I. We are very grateful at the opportunity to command. So I have to begin by thanking all those involved in the process that brought us here to be part of the Joint Base Langley Eustis team. Likewise, I'd like to thank all the key leadership in attendance today. Colonel Miller, ma'am, thank you for being here. We appreciate your time. Command Chief, thank you for being here. Colonel Stanfield, sir, thank you for officiating. And thank you, we look forward to working with your MSG team. So far, so good. Meeting everybody else. We're all in one little square of the corner, so on base housing, so it's great. Members of ACC staff, specifically those at A6, Colonel Sutton, Colonel Folks, sir, thank you for being here. Look forward to working with the staffs on the issues at bear. To all the other commanders, groups, squadrons, associated chiefs, deputies, and all the military and civilian attendees, thank you for being here today. I want to give special thanks to a couple of family and friends that have traveled for this ceremony. Specifically, I'd like to thank retired Air Force Colonel Virgil Hemphill and his wife Bobby for attending today. They drove in from Dayton, Ohio. Their daughter and I were stationed together in Minot Air Force Base in 1997. We were both enlisted. She worked in the hospital, dental clinic, and I worked at public health. Happenstance, they became my sponsor family at the academy, which is the family away from home where you do your laundry, and that's kind of all you're supposed to do there, but I adopted them as mom and dad. Only a few short years later, and a few parental type discussions later, I was commissioned as a second lieutenant, and Colonel Hemphill swore me in. So thank you for being here today. It means a lot to both Tiffany and I. Speaking of Tiffany, I do have to say thank you to my incredibly silly, ever so sassy, and wonderful spouse. She, just as many of your spouses, has endured the numerous moves, each time making and leaving new friends. And she has that unique talent of turning all the different houses we've had into homes. She's the backbone of our family team. I love you, babe. Thank you. I'd also be remiss not to mention my little buddy, Cole Eli. Military kids are the definition of resiliency. Langley Air Force Base is his 7th home in his 7 years of life. Just in the past trip to see family, Cole asked his grandfather, "What do you like about your house so much?" Not knowing where the conversation was going, we went ahead and asked. He said, "Well, I don't understand why you don't ever move. We move all the time. What's so special about your house, Grandpa?" You have to love that perspective. So thank you both for always tagging along. Colonel Howard, sir, thank you for giving me the best squadron that I have got to look forward to leading. Today is a very surreal day for me. I've seen this ceremony many times, from the pews, from the side. I've never seen it from the stage. And this is a surreal moment. I want to thank you for the squadron. To the 633rd Communication Squadron, Tiffany and I are humbled and excited to join your team. We look forward to being part of your family and to the many adventures, challenges, and opportunities that our futures will hold together. With that, thank you. I'll hand it back over to Airman Harris.
At this time, the men and women of the 633rd Communication Squadron will present Major Evans with his first salute.
Squadron, attention, hut, present, Hums. Order, Hums.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of the official party. This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attending. Please join us in congratulating Major Evans at the Reception Heritage Hall at Building 775.
Squadron, dismiss.